Welcome to the lecture series on linear algebra. In the previous lecture, we have defined what a subspace of a vector space is and we have seen some examples of a subspace. In this lecture, we are going to continue with the same. Let us get into the lecture. Here, we are asked to consider R3 of R, which means R3 of R is the set of all x, y, z such that all these entries are real numbers. We are considering the three tuples. Each entry is taken from the set of real numbers. Then we are asked to find out which of the following are subspaces of the vector space. We have seen in the definition that it has to satisfy the subsets, the non-empty subsets has to satisfy all the axioms to be a vector space so that we can say it is a subspace. Or equivalently, we have seen one more definition, that is, if we take two things in the subset and if we prove the linear combination of these two things, we will exactly see what do we mean by a linear combination in the upcoming lectures. As of now, alpha times of u plus beta times of v. Here the operation being taking place is the scalar multiplication and this is the vector addition, and this has to present in w. If it is satisfying this condition for any vectors u and v and for any scalars alpha and beta, okay, then we can say this w forms a subspace of the given vector space, right? So generally, let us write what here is. Here scalars are to be taken from the set of real numbers and vectors are to be taken from R3, right? So let me write alpha times of x1, y1 is at 1 plus beta times of x2, y2 is at 2. Here they have not specified about the vector addition and the scalar multiplication. It means the usual sense is considered. So it is going to be alpha times of x1 plus beta times x2 plus alpha y1 plus beta y2 plus alpha z1 plus beta z2. So I have written this in a general sense. Now we shall apply these to the given sets. In the first, what they have given that first two entries must be real and the third entry must be 0. So here the third entry is going to be 0, here the third entry is going to be 0, right? And the first two entries has to be real. Okay. Now we'll see whether this alpha x1 plus beta x2 is real or not. x1 is some real quantity, x2 is some real quantity, alpha and beta are real quantity. Therefore, this is a member of reals. Similarly, alpha y1 plus beta y2 is also a real quantity. Here your z1 is 0, right? z2 is also 0, and here let us check what about this. It is alpha times of 0 plus beta times of 0, it is also 0. So it is satisfying the required condition. So which means this part, whenever you take these two are in W1, you can see that this is also in W1. Therefore, W1 is a subspace, right? Now let us go to the second. What is given? It is given that your these entries are rationals. Therefore, your x1, y1, z1, x2, y2, z2, these are rational quantities, and your alpha and beta are real quantity. Now you will have to say these are rational quantities. If you say these are rational quantities, you can come to the conclusion that it is a subspace. Now let me choose a particular case. Let me choose alpha to be under root 3 and x1 to be some 2, right? Beta to be 1 and x2 to be 1 as well. So here what am I going to get? Alpha x1 plus beta x2. Here I will get 2 under root 3 plus 1. This is not a rational quantity, right? So all the three things has to be a rational quantity so that I can say this W2 forms a subspace. Here I am not getting that in general, therefore it is not a subspace. Let us come to the third one. Here it is given that these are real quantities. Here they have not specified anything, which means these are taken as it is in the given vector space and it has to satisfy this condition, right? Here they have given that the first quantity must be the square of the second quantity. Therefore, your x1 is y1 square and x2 is y2 square, right? So now we have to prove this is in W3, for which what must be the case? This must be the square of this value. Let us examine this. That is alpha y1 plus beta y2 whole square. What are we going to get? So when you make the binomial expansion, you are going to get alpha square y1 square plus beta square y2 square plus 2 times of alpha beta y1 y2, and we should get this is same as that of what? The first quantity, that is alpha x1 plus beta x2. Will we get this? We are going to get alpha square x1 plus beta square x2 plus 2 alpha beta y1 y2. So this is not equals alpha x1 plus beta x2 always. When this is not true in general, we cannot come to the conclusion that this is satisfying this condition. Therefore, it is not a subspace, right? In the fourth, what they have given that it must satisfy the condition xy is 0. Okay, which means your x1 y1 is 0 in this. This gives you x2 y2 is 0, and you must get what? Alpha x1 plus beta x2 times alpha y1 plus beta y2. We must get this to be 0. If we get this is 0, then we can come to the conclusion that W4 is a subspace. So this is alpha square x1 y1, alpha beta x1 y2, beta alpha x2 y1 plus beta square y1 y2. Sorry, beta square x2 y2, right? So this gives you this quantity is 0 and this gives you this quantity is 0. We have no guarantee that this quantity is 0, right? So this is not equals 0 always. Therefore it is not a subspace. Next, here it is given that is in the fifth, your Z1 is 1 and Z2 is 1, right? So the first two quantities has to be real, which means your alpha x1 plus beta x2 must be real. Alpha x1 beta x2, all the quantities are real quantity, therefore it must be a real quantity. Similarly, it is also a real quantity. Now let us come to that. What happens to alpha z1 plus beta z2? This is alpha times of 1 plus beta times of 1, which is alpha plus beta. It is not always equal to 1 because alpha and beta are random choices in the set of reals. Therefore, it is also not a subspace, right? Let us come to the last one. What is it given? It is given that the entries are satisfying some equation like this. Therefore, ax1 plus by1 plus cz1 is going to be the case. Okay, and let me take what? Let me take ax2 plus by2 plus cz2 is 0. Okay, for some ABC in real numbers. Now, what should I do? I have to do a similar kind of equation for this case. That is a times of alpha x1 plus beta x2 plus b times of alpha y1 plus beta y2 plus c times of alpha z1 plus beta z2, right? Just multiply this a inside, so you will get a alpha x1 plus a beta x2, b alpha y1 plus b beta y2 plus c alpha z1 plus c beta z2. Here you can see that this a is taken from R, this alpha is taken from R, this x1 x2 all these quantities are taken from R. So now you may treat this as in real numbers. You can make use of the commutativity and associativity and bring the alpha quantity outside. Here it has alpha, alpha and alpha. So among which take alpha as a common thing using the distributive law, right? Alpha times of ax1 plus by1 plus cz1 plus beta times of ax2 plus by2 plus cz2, right? So what are you getting? This is 0 because of this, right? Similarly this is also 0 because of this. So what you are getting is alpha times 0 plus beta times 0, which is going to be 0. Therefore these entries are satisfying this condition. Therefore this is a subspace, right? Here let us have a close look at these examples and let us try to remark something. You see you just see W3 and W4. Here you may notice something, and look at this. Here also you may notice something, because here they have just made something over here, but here they have given some conditions. This is okay. Now let us see, this is a linear condition, right? But this is non-linear. This is also a non-linear. So when you make a non-linear condition, that is not forming a subspace, but when you make a linear condition, that is forming a subspace. And similarly we have similarity between this W1 and W5. They have taken two values to be real and they have fixed only one value, and that value is 0. That is, if that is 0, you are getting that to be a subspace. But when you make that is some other entry, even here instead of 1 you may fix some constant c, okay? In that case what are you going to get? You will get alpha times of c plus beta times of c, and you must get this to be c. But this is not going to be the case always, right? In that case also you will not have this to be a subspace. So in general, if you restrict x, y some constant, or x some constant y, or constant x, y, okay? This x and y are some real quantities and c is a fixed constant. This collection will form a subspace only if c is 0, okay? You may fix that 0 anywhere in these three places, right? That will form a vector, that will form a subspace only if the constant is 0. For any other constant it will not form a subspace. If you have any queries in this lecture, you may post it in the comment section. That will be clarified within 24 hours of time. Thank you for watching.